Mental health, where is it? There it is. Okay, so once you're approved, obviously, you come over here to promo numbers. Ah, Jesus, I am all over the board here. I got a trackball instead of a mouse, and it's a little crazy. Okay, so I have two phone numbers here. If you're not going to have any phone numbers if it's brand spanking new, but you can make one by adding a toll-free number or adding a local number. My recommendation here is make a phone number. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's a toll-free or a local number. Nobody's going to see it because you're going to set up Retreaver with the campaign phone number that's going to go on your website, and it's going to go on the ad that's in your campaign, your AdWords campaign. So in this case, I use this for tracking purposes. You can see that I have one for my website, and I have one for a campaign that I just created, and that way I can see where the organic traffic is coming from, and I could see what my paid campaign is doing from this top level. So I'm going to copy this number real quick, and I'm going to jump into Retreaver. And Retreaver is a third-party, software as a service tracking platform. This allows you to, this is what I like about Retreaver. Retreaver allows you to kind of keep the same phone number across the entire campaign, and you can hot swap the buyers off in the background. So, if an offer drops on, say, like Paulo, and you have a working campaign, you can run over to HyperTarget, for example, and apply for a similar or same campaign and jump into Retreaver and reconfigure the offer without stopping anything. Or you can just kind of rotate. You can rotate through your offers in Retreaver, kind of like any tracking form, like volume, for example. If you're coming from volume, where you can kind of rotate offers and stuff. We're dealing with calls. We're not dealing with landing pages so much, so we can't get as sophisticated. But this also records the phone conversations. That way, you can go back and, as a marketer, you can go back and listen and figure out what's working, what's not working. If there's any disputes with the traffic you're running, you can go back. You have proof. You have a running record. They can't scrub. If you have all of the conversations, right? So that's another good thing. So calls do drop off, but there's really not much they can do in terms of scrubbing. So that's always a good thing. This is just really important insurance right here. And it does save a lot of trouble down the road when you're trying your best to kind of keep the money flowing and offers aren't like staying consistent. So you can hot swap offers in the background. That's my biggest thing. So there's a couple of things to get started here. I'm going to kind of just run through really fast how to do it. So this is the weekend. I'm not running any traffic today, so anything you see in here is just an accident. These are traffic numbers. So this is kind of like your front dashboard. It's going to give you kind of an idea of like how many calls that are coming in, how many are in progress, obviously duration, and what campaigns are running. I'm not going to go through and give you a whole overview of Retreaver. As I said before in other videos, it's like this training really is like, let's just get to the point. So the first thing we want to do is we want to kind of set up a buyer, right? So a buyer would be the person buying your phone calls. In this case, it's going to be Paulo Media is buying your calls and then redirecting them to a call center who's paying Paulo Media for them, right? So that's the relationship. So I just pulled this number from here, right? So we got this number here. It's copied, and I'm going to paste that into here. I'm going to give this a name. This is going to be Paulo Mental Health, and I'm thinking that we're going to actually, let me pause this real quick. Sorry, I just got a text message from Anthony from Paulo. He bought some of my C12 recovery, which I sell on Amazon as a post-exercise recovery supplement, and he's loving it. Okay, anyway, as we were, I'm setting up this Paulo buyer, and the idea here is we're going to configure a campaign. You can see this section here, that's going to kind of port this buyer over. It might not make sense right now, but it will in a second. So just kind of bear with me and follow along. So I'm just going to just fill this out. And I have this feeling I want to play with eating disorders. So this particular campaign is going to focus on eating disorders, okay? Like bulimia, anorexia. getting these girls, probably these girls, into some kind of inpatient treatment. And that's really it here. It's a 24/7 campaign. You can configure all of this stuff. I'm not going to get into details. This is the buyer side. So once we create this buyer, we will be able to see this in a list. That way, when we create a campaign and assign a phone number to it, this guy will be ready. So, okay, so I just created that buyer. So that buyer is like, it's like the offer, right? So if we come over here to campaigns now, I can create a new campaign. And I'm going to call this Paulo Mental Health Eating Disorders. I'm going to do the same thing here. Paulo Mental Health Eating Disorders. Okay, cool. Now, the reason why I set it up that buyer first is because when I come in here and I go looking for the routing settings, this will be available. You see that? So what we did now is we just kind of mapped this campaign to this buyer here. And that way, when they call our campaign phone number, it just gets routed through to the Paulo the Paulo Mental Health offer right here. So this little phone number right here should be the same as this number here, and it is. That's great news. Okay. So the only thing left to do here, so if I hit create campaign, the only thing left to do here is to purchase a toll-free phone number that we're going to use for our campaign. Now, the campaign that I'm talking about is the AdWords campaign. This is the phone number that's going to be on your website, your landing page. This is the phone number that you're going to introduce. You're gonna insert it into your ad, and Google's gonna, when Google goes through the approval process, it's gonna compare. It's gonna see the phone number, and it's gonna go, okay, that's the phone number in your ad. Let's go over to the landing page. Yep, that's the same phone number on your landing page. Okay, approved. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to create a new phone number, new campaign phone number. It doesn't matter here. So we'll just go ahead and hit the create button, create the new button, and it's going to give us a phone number. It's right here. So this is our campaign phone number right here. So I'm going to create a new text file. I'm just going to paste that in there. So this is our mental health campaign phone number. We could have a whole bunch of different mental health campaigns, right? We could have depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, trauma, anything. This is going to be eating disorders. I could even break this down into anorexia and bulimia, you know? The thing is we haven't even started looking at volume, at numbers, at traffic. You haven't even really done any research. I'm kind of shooting from the hip here because I know some things already. But we'll see that there's so much volume for this stuff. So much inventory for these keyword phrases that I'm confident that we'll get some traffic. And if we do get this campaign working properly, it could be a 4-figure day campaign, no problem. No problem at all. Okay, I'm going to grab a Rockstar energy drink real quick. I'm going to pause this. I talk too much. Hold on.